to Carlton. At VFL Park, it was the Hawks' turn to take on the Blues, who've hardly put a foot wrong since Alex Jezelenko was catapulted into the coaching chair after their demise against the Bears in round 10. All the action from round 18 in Saturday Night Replay. Yes, a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to Saturday Night Replay. The countdown to the finals continues with 4 games today in round 18. Our coverage centring on the big battle at league headquarters between Carlton and Hawthorn and the matchup between Fitzroy and Melbourne, that game from Princes Park. Well, a few weeks back, the Carlton-Hawthorn affair at VFL Park wouldn't have warranted too much more than a passing mention. Now, with the Blues having won 5, drawn 1 and lost 1 by 3 points to Essendon since Alex Jezelenko took over, the side has certainly commanded much more respect. When these two sides last met at VFL Park in round 5, Hawthorn emerged victorious by 54 points after they booted 10 goals to 3 after half-time. It was the Blues' 5th loss in succession and sent them to the bottom of the ladder. Now, 13 rounds later, they're still entertaining thoughts of making the 5, and to do so, they had to knock over the top side. With me in the commentary box today, Ian Robertson and Ross Glendinning, and tonight we join the action at the start of the final quarter. Hawthorn is leading by 21 points. We begin the final quarter at VFL Park with Hawthorn leading, but only by 21 points after they had an advantage of nearly 40 points late in the third quarter. Carlton have come back well. Madden gets the first punch out in the centre circle. It should be picked up by Hannah. Tuck right on his hammer. Good smother. Back it comes to Melbourne. Dispossessed quickly. A hurried hand pass comes out in the direction of Condon, but it's a Hawthorn kick. It'll go to Ray Jenke at half-back. Jenke playing his 50th game today for Hawthorn. Looks for Kennedy. Kennedy on centre wing. Chips it short. The target is Lawrence, who replaced Brereton late in the third quarter. He gives the hand pass back to Kennedy. Hawks didn't get that much out of Brereton today. Centering kick. Dunstall ducks back. Won't quite get there. Opposition from Bradley. Well, in soccer, that's an own goal. 1 behind the Hawthorn. 22 points the difference. Be interesting if they brought that rule in, wouldn't it, Ian?
It'd be fair play by Bradley there too, Pete. I thought he was could have been under enormous pressure.
58 to 80. Dean, who was shirt-fronted by Brereton. In the second quarter, Kennedy. Curran for goal number 5. It's not there. There's 1 behind. 23 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. Dunstall still need 1 goal for the magical 100. He hasn't kicked a goal down this end of the ground so far in the match. Dean this time to the outer side.
Kicks it out wide. McKenzie takes a good mark, running with the flight of the ball. Bounces once. He's got a paddock in front of himself. All he needs to do is make sure the ball comes back to him. He's kicked now towards half forward. Kernahan punches away from Langford. And it goes over the boundary line for a throw-in. It's slightly forward of centre wing in Carlton's attacking half. Kernahan. It's as though he's going to do the ruck work against his opponent, Chris Langford. That's the way it's panning out. Langford bumps Kernahan out of the road. Platten gathers. He's caught with the ball, John Platten. Just gets his foot to it. Alvin gathers. Meldrum somehow. Little bit of space for Meldrum. Left foot kick towards centre half forward. It's dropping short. Matthews can't mark, but Kennedy, who's been quiet, but he's had 3 possessions in the opening 3 minutes. Tuck. Up towards half forward goes Michael Tuck. Rhys Jones, good mark. Over the top of Lawrence. And perhaps a little bit of experience showing out there for David Rhys Jones. Little kick in short. Alvin, they haven't gained very much. Alvin will now. He runs onto the right foot and kicks it long out towards half forward. Verbeek can't mark. Condon has the ball. Verbeek the tackler. Platten didn't have it. Gleeson, the free kick was against you. So Platten, centre wing outer side, looking to chip it short. Now elects to go long, up towards Lawrence, but chipping in front was Rhys Jones, and he takes another mark and holds up a promising Hawthorn attack. So Rhys Jones, high ball in towards the centre, looking for Madden. The ball is punched away. Comes to Dipia Domenico. He kicks it quickly towards half forward. Kennedy and Whitman. But Kennedy gets the hand pass back to McKenzie. And McKenzie's direct towards half forward. No mark. Punched away by Jenke. Platten, where the ball usually normally is, on the ground. And Platten does it well. Kicks it wide. Here's a chance for Pritchard. The bounce, very good there for Pritchard. Back onto the right, back onto the left. Now the little kick in towards Dunstall. He can't gather the ball, but what a great attempt. It goes over for a boundary throw-in.
So Jason Dunstall still needing 1 goal for that magical 100. I'm sure he'd be thinking the win is more important than that at the moment. Deere tries to find Platten. Diving on top of it is Kennedy to nullify any Hawthorn gain. And umpire Peter Cameron will bounce it. Almost right on the 50-metre mark. 23 points the difference. Early stages of the final quarter. Madden and Deere. Won by Madden. Doesn't bounce too kindly for Melbourne. Dippy Domenico well tackled. Out to Platten. And the Carlton defence closes it up once more. And this time Peter Cameron will do it all again. A little bit further out from goal this time. The Blues possibly gaining a couple of metres. Madden once more. And he's plucked out a free kick. Had to give one some way. It was a real scramble there. Madden's got the kick at the half-back line. Kernahan, Langford, Gleeson, good tackle. Platten getting plenty of possessions early in the final quarter from left centre wing. Rhys Jones in the road again. That's his 3rd mark. Almost in as many minutes. Just too experienced for young Lawrence. Relays the pass well onto Dean. Dean out towards centre wing position. Hannah, good tackle on Schwab. Back it comes to Pritchard. Pritchard in turn. Over the top has found Lawrence. Now promising move for Hawthorn. Condon. Where's Dunstall at the back? Curran in front. Dean. Long hand pass. This is Bradley. Craig Bradley streaming downfield. Gleeson. Meldrum. Carlton into attack. Oh, Langford just couldn't get in front of Kernahan on that occasion. And Steve Kernahan fine mark. 55 metres out from goal. Silvani. Yes! No! Kept in play by Murphy. No, it is not in play. The goal umpire indicating it's one behind. And so 1 point to the Blues to make the difference 22 points.
They've really got to kick a couple of quick goals here, don't they, to have any impression in this game. Hawthorn will just be keen to keep them out, obviously, to kick some goals, but this next few minutes vital for Carlton.
Yes, just waste a bit of time. The kick in by Ayres goes to the back. Melbourne can't gather, but Bradley can. Runs up to 50 metres. Craig Bradley, bang! Offline to the right. Gee, that could have been a pretty important one. They need something like that to give them a little bit of impetus, don't they, really? Gary Ayres again to kick the ball in, comes to the members' side. Great mark taken by Matthews. Gee, this boy's impressed in the brief moments that he's been on the field. Short kick looking for Silvani. No mark taken. Platten. Umpire Russo comes in. And Stephen Silvani a little disappointed with the umpiring decision. But I couldn't really see what John Platten could do.
In fact, he almost took the mark, you know.
Did too, yes. Was the man in front, of course. And umpire Russo will bounce 40 metres from the Carlton goal.
There's a Brereton on the boundary line ready to come back on too, interestingly. Gleeson, Fraser Murphy. Silvani in front, Ayres at the back.
He's going to change Brereton and Lawrence again, Peter.
This is Ray Jenke at the right back pocket for Hawthorn. He's kicked it straight. Oh, I was almost going to say straight to Matthews. Through the glasses it looked that way. Matthews is pretty tall, but he couldn't gather it. It's out of bounds. So Brereton coming back on. Rhys Jones picks him up again. Deere looking for a free kick. He might have got one this time against Madden because Madden was hanging onto his jumper. His target, Curran. Good defence by Mackenzie. It's out of bounds. Curran's lost a boot. So boundary throw in adjacent to the interchange area. 17.5 minutes left in this match. Plenty of time for Carlton to get up. Madden on his own down to Gleeson. That was bad play. Hawthorn, no manning up there. Kernahan and Langford. Langford looks for the front posse. Shepherd's for Jenke. Kennedy. Good tackle to Rui. Kennedy looking for a free kick and will get one.
50 metres surely, wouldn't it be?
Well, you think so, having got rid of the ball. The whistle had clearly gone. Kennedy must have just paddled that ball in front of him. The tackle coming from Darui. Hard to see from this angle if it plays back to us. Yes, Ian, quite right. It should have been a 50.
So John Kennedy takes the free kick for Hawthorn at the right half-back flank, hugs the boundary line with the kick.
A high kick up towards the wing. No mark taken. Schwab. Great play there by Madden to just gather the ball while he was lying on the ground, and he handballs it over the boundary line. So we'll have another throw in. This time it's right on the players' interchange area. And Deere and Madden, they've really been struggling all day. Over the top, Matthews. Hawker onto Gleeson. Gleeson onto Bradley. Oh, Bradley's kick magnificently smothered by Tuck.
I said it in the first or second quarter that statistically he doesn't always have big games, but he does a lot of that sort of stuff. Very effective.
Terrific, Michael Tuck. Dorotic doing the ruck work. Goes to Matthews. Matthews, quick kick into the pocket. Gathered by Murphy. Gets around Collins. Hand pass to Hawker. Hawker's kick towards full forward. Carlton mark Melbourne. 25 metres out, directly in front. And if he kicks a goal here, the difference will be just 15 points.
And if Craig Bradley's shot at goal earlier on was important, this one is vital. If Carlton have a chance to come back and try and snatch this game.
Meldrum. Drop punt kick. Stabs it and kicks the goal.
So, what's with the Lyland brothers? What happened to the wagon?
Jackaroo was around the same price. With everything. Fuel injection, power steering, automatic if you want it.
Well, what are you going to do with the four-wheel drive?
Kakadu, Fraser Island. Give you a drive.
Yeah, wouldn't mind.
At the Melbourne Big, we believe there are better ways to do things. We leave listings open for months longer to make the most up-to-date buying guide available. We keep in touch with our customers to stop dead listings. We combine classifications and use bigger prints, make the book easier to use. We didn't have to be Einsteins to know how to list all Melbourne's businesses in one volume. We might not look big, but when it comes to big thinking, we outweigh the heavyweight every time. The Melbourne Big. We're too smart to be thick.
About time we planned a little playmate for him, No. Don't you want to have another baby?
You know that I do. Don't you understand that these days we need my wages more than ever?
It's not right, is it? But there is an answer. We have to change the tax system in favour of families. With the Liberal, there'll be flatter and fairer taxes, actually biased toward the family. There is an answer.
Authorised by Tony Eggleton, Liberal Party, Canberra.
Late last summer, Peter Dale had to make recommendations to his chairman on his company's office accommodation for the next 5 years. Earlier that month, Peter met with the best people in property, Jones Lang Wootton. JLW prepared a complete portfolio of suitable properties backed up by the latest research and market analysis and assisted with the presentation.
Jones Lang Wootton.
In property, you don't have to hope for the best. Expect it. From Jones Lang Wootton.
If you have the technology to build antennae that receive clear signals from outer space, imagine how sharp that technology will make the images you get on the televisions and video recorders you also make. Samsung, the world's latest.
Carlton getting real close and about to mount a challenge. One senses Deere knocks it away. Matthews overruns it. Picked up by Bradley after Condon couldn't get rid of it. Ayres tries to punch it clear. Carlton into attack again. Another goal here will make things pretty interesting. Hawthorn has won 6 in a row. Only dropped 2 for the season. And they're really struggling here this afternoon, certainly at the moment.
15.5 minutes left, Pete.
Plenty of time. Dorotic with Ayres. Over the top is Verbeek, too tall. Platten, been Hawthorn's best player today. And jumping back into it is Matthews. Wouldn't have paid the mark. The umpire didn't either. Scooped out. Good knock away by Mackenzie. By Kennedy it was. Platten and Bradley. Madden. To half forward for Carlton again. Fraser Murphy. Ayres and Murphy.
Ayres will try to pick it up and get it to the boundary line. Silvani looks for Verbeek. Centering kick might have been touched off the boot, that one. No, he's been paid the mark, John Dorotic.
Elvin on his own. Oh, no, too late. Covered by Platten.
Again, another vital kick for Carlton.
Verbeek's played well,
He has
been very productive, yes.
So John Dorotic, wrong side for a left footer.
Great kick.
Tremendous kick for a goal. The Blues right in the hunt at VFL Park.
Well, that's his second goal. He hasn't had many touches, but 2 goals and a goal. He just kicked in a vital one. And his, along with Meldrum's, could give Carlton incentive to come back.
This Verbeek statistics, while there's a bit of a lull there, Peter, he's had 14 kicks, 12 hand passes and 9 marks.
Back into the centre and the game really alive now. Carlton on a roll, have the Hawks stopped.
Bounce in the centre, Curran just gets his foot to the ball towards centre-half forward. Schwab takes the mark in front of Hannah. Hand passes it off to Curran. Hawks into attack. Curran's kick towards full forward. Dunstall can't mark. Chipping in and helping out is Rhys Jones. He transfers play to the opposite side. Great mark taken by Platten. He leaves it behind. Tries to tap it on. Now Bradley's a chance. The pressure right on now. Bradley somehow finds a little bit of space, and Craig Bradley goes bang with a long kick up towards half forward. It goes over the back to the advantage of Dorotic. Running onto it is Hawker. Here's another goal coming up to Carlton. The short pass is a little bit too hard for Kernahan. The Hawks under pressure at half back. There's a free kick to Hawthorn. A definite free kick, and it'll go to Anderson.
So I wonder whether Hawker have taken a couple of bounces, had all the room in the world, and gone long, could have had a shot at goal. Elected to go short.
And it could have been a different result. Ayres has the kick at half-back. He goes wide. Curran can't mark. He's held in nicely by Murphy. And he's been penalised. A little tough. Curran upset. Murphy has the free kick on centre wing for Carlton.
Murphy, long way from goal. Centering kick. Tuck the spoil. Well, Gleeson's at the fall of the ball. He'll have to outrun Platten. Kicks it right across the face. Silvani should just get there. And marks. Well within kicking distance. He'll be kicking from about 45.
Tell you what, the fans have come to their feet a bit too, Pete.
Yes. Now Silvani, he's kicked 2 goals, both from free kicks earlier in the game. A goal here would make it less than a kick. He's got it. Carlton finishing with a wet sail at league headquarters.
Well, that kick coming from Gleeson, just going high and a little wide, but Silvani made terrific ground to get there and to dive at full length as he did to grasp that ball to his chest without having it spill to the ground. It was a fine effort, and then to kick the goal from there in that situation. See the kick coming from Gleeson, and you see Silvani coming out of left of the screen, making great ground there. Desperate dive and a good finish. McGuinness has had probably the better of him with 3 goals to Silvani.
So after half-time, Carlton clearly the better side here at VFL Park. Hawthorn, goalless so far in the last quarter. Carlton's kicked 7 goals to 4 after the break. He's going to get it out of the centre. Condon does. Oh, no, he doesn't. Sock it away up towards the edge of the square. Mackenzie should get there first for Carlton. Shepherding from Matthews keeps Kennedy at bay. And the mark is taken by Verbeek. Hawthorn stopped to a walk. Hawker marking in front of John Platten. And a goal here would put Carlton in front for the first time today. Where's Silvani? Kernahan's there. Silvani at the back. McGuinness. Hurried kick to the boundary line. Finds Platten. As I said before, easily Hawthorn's best. Let's see what stuff Hawthorn have made of now. Condon over the head of DeRuy. Brereton back onto the ground. Runs into that player, DeRuy. 3 Carlton players are there. Dorotic didn't do enough with it. Now he gets the ball paddled out to him. Meldrum to Hannah. Around Dippia Domenico. 2-on-1 in favour of Carlton. Great mark, Verbeek.
Geez, played well, this guy. I'll tell you what, it could be the coming of age of this man.
And he also played very well in when Carlton weren't controlling the game early doors. He really worked very hard. See this on replay. It's a great mark. Both Platten and Jenke putting pressure on him.
Ross, for a youngster, it's important to get your hands on the ball a lot. And look at that. He's had 12 hand passes and 10 marks.
Yes. He's He's done very well.
Dixon on, Schwab off for Hawthorn. Blues in front. First time today.
Yeah, the house across the road. 150,000 it went for.
What? That done? How much?
150?
What's that make us worth?
Enough to start looking for a bigger place.
Why? We've got all the room we need here.
And a very nice room it is too, Graham.
If you have already proved yourself with your first home loan, talk to State Bank about your second.
Couldn't stand it again. Appointments with the bank manager, applications in triplicate. They just don't like parting with their money.
They're not the only ones.
At State Bank, we won't send you to the end of the queue. Anyone who's already done what you've done deserves better.
Okay. First we'll find a house, then we'll talk to the bank.
State Bank Victoria. We never forget. It's your money.
Girls! Hi, just giving Andrew Gaze here a few tips on how to play a new ball game. It's called the BP Big Ball Game and it's on right now at your BP service station. You can win an interstate trip for two to watch the second NBL final, including airfares and accommodation. Plus, there's hundreds of local NBL tickets to be won. So, play the game to win. Enter the BP Big Ball Game at participating BP service stations, but hurry, it's big!
BP, on the move.
What's the matter, mate?
That table broke.
Leave it to me. They thought they'd be stuck there all day.
Nissan Patrol, with Nissan's exclusive 2-year warranty. The best four-wheel drive down under.
It's unbelievable. That's my car.
How does one best describe the Bert Newton Show?
Beautiful.
It's magnificent.
It is really.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hut, hut, hut,
It's great to be a part of your show. Everything's very honest and innocent, I can promise you.
I loved it.
It's the best thing I've seen for years.
It's magic. Be part of the fun weekdays at noon, only on 7.
They only lead by 3 points and there's still about 10 minutes left, 11 minutes left. They've got the ball out of the centre, which has been pretty crucial. This time it's been held in pretty well there by Condon. And umpire Cameron will come in and bounce once again, only a metre or so away from the centre circle. Justin Madden and Greg Deere, they've had a tremendous battle in the ruck all day. Deere over the top, Matthews, kick out by Gleeson. Now a chance for Carlton again, a great tap on there by Dorotich. Hannah swoops on the football, he can't break clear. The ball at centre half forward. A real struggle for possession. Ayres is on the bottom of it. And he looks as though he's been brought up the field a little bit too, Ross.
Yeah, to follow Dorotich there, Ian, and he's been on top of Dorotich. It's the last 3 or 4 minutes, Dorotich just breaking free.
So the bounce of the ball at centre half forward for Carlton, just outside their 50-metre line. There are the two players up over the top. Matthews gets a good tap on. Collins comes out. Oh, strong play by Collins. The kick back in towards the centre. Madden's in there. A tap out wide. Chance for Hannah. He could be caught. No, he gets the hand pass to Madden. Madden goes to Meldrum. Blues into attack again. Meldrum had a player loose on the flank. He's kicked towards full forward. No mark. The ball runs free. A great tackle by Silvani. The Hawthorn defence is under pressure. Collins fumbles at the crucial stage. Ayres goes back. Now the kick out by Anderson. Out towards half forward. Could this be a mark to Gleeson? Yes, it is, in front of Pritchard. He plays on quickly, round onto the right foot, up towards 50 metres. Gleeson goes bang, a long kick into the pocket. It's a Hawthorn mark, I would suggest, and it'll go to McGuinness.
Good mark. Scott McGuinness defending stoutly for Hawthorn. They need something at the moment. This will really test their character out. It's the first time they've been under pressure for a long while. Madden, this one he should have taken. Condon from Kennedy. Inside defensive 50, Curran, who's been quiet in the second half. He's got 4 goals, though, nonetheless. Hawker stands the mark. Curran looking for a couple of metres. Should get it moving quickly. Kennedy knocks it there. Bradley in front of Platten. Two South Australians. Deere over the top. Ooh. Curran off the ground. Brereton, one of his rare touches. Dunstall. A chance for goal number 100, and more importantly, I guess, from the team point of view, to put Hawthorn back in front, but he had to kick it 55 to 60 metres for it to be a goal.
And his grounded foot won't have a boot on it.
So that doesn't give him too much of a chance. In the goal square, Brereton. Oh, he's got the mark. He gave Rhys Jones a little bit of a nudge and marked it with the other hand.
I was going to question the move of Alan Jeans bringing Brereton back on in the condition that he obviously is in, and replaced him with Lawrence early, but that mark there vindicating the move.
A real Tony Lockett grabbed that one.
Yeah, a bit similar to the couple he took in that State of Origin game.
Tell you what, he's pretty crook too, I'd suggest.
He looks a little tender. Goal here would put Hawthorn back in front. 10 metres out, and he's got it. Brereton's first goal. The Hawks back in front, but the game's not over yet.
As I said, Dermot Brereton vindicating his coach's move to bring him back on, but he's obviously not right, whether it be his chest or a leg. It's a bit hard to determine. Could be both. A good kick there from Dunstall to make that distance into the square, with a fine one-handed mark to Brereton. Very strong. Rhys Jones been a fine player for Carlton all day.
Hawthorn leads by 3 points in a thriller at VFL Park. It'll be Madden and Deere once again to contest the bounce. Can Carlton come back? They're certainly finishing the better side. And umpire Peter Cameron decides that no one's got the ball to any advantage. It'll be another baller.
So Hawthorn leading by just that 3-point margin. The ball very close to the centre circle again. Umpire Cameron in control. The bounce favours Madden. He gets the flip out towards the side. Chance now for Melbourne to run straight into Dippy Domenico. Umpire will be forced to bounce once again. Some good tough stuff there.
Good rugby league tackle by Dippy Domenico there.
Great stuff there by Dipper. He's had a quiet day, but he's still very, very competitive. Right on the edge of the square. Deere over the top, gets it out the back. Here's Dippy Domenico. He can't break clear. Hawker's on the bottom of it. He can't get the ball out. And look at those Hawthorn players really striving hard now. As Peter said, it's a real test for them. They've been able to just get their noses back in front. Madden, Deere, tapped by Mackenzie, Gleeson. Deere gets his foot to the ball. It's up at half forward. Brereton. Good tap on. Chance for Anderson. Left foot kick towards half forward. Gathered by Dixon. Unselfish hand pass gives Whitman the chance to goal from 30 metres out. He misses to the left. So 4 points the Hawks lead by. And still one straight kick could give Carlton the match.
Dean, who was shirt-fronted by Brereton earlier in the game, made a great recovery. He copped a similar knock against the Sydney Swans earlier in the year in that controversial game. 2-on-1 in favour of Carlton. The result obvious. Mackenzie. DeRui at half-back. Up the centre wing. Jenke in front. Can't take the mark. Ayres well up the ground now. Over the head of Dippy Domenico. Platten giving chase. Mackenzie. Kennedy it is, tries to tap it further forward. Now here's a chance for Carlton. Gleeson to Hanna. Short kick, Dorotich on his own after Ayres fell over. Murphy, should be a goal. Bradley, Carlton shoots, 35. Carlton back in front.
Great play, sensational football.
And it's all they needed with the Hawthorn player Ayres slipping over at the crucial time. Dorotich let go free, took an easy mark. Fed the ball out, finished up with Bradley. You see the kick coming down from Mil Hanna. Dorotich left free because you see there, Ayres slipping over, feeds the ball out, very quickly to Murphy, onto the free running Bradley, kicks his second goal for this quarter. I beg your pardon, it's his first, the other one just missed. Vital one though, that one.
10 Carlton players have now kicked goals. It's a real team effort. Carlton by 2 points.
Madden. Platten dispossesses Gleeson. The ball's still in the centre. Dippy Domenico. Kick off the ground by Bradley. It's at centre half forward. Dorotich gets the ball on Alvin. Out wide, Matthews. Matthews goes for goal with a long kick. It's at full forward. No mark taken. Good tackle by Silvani. Forces Collins to kick it out on the full. And it's a free kick to Carlton in the pocket to be taken by Murphy. So a real cliffhanger here at VFL Park. The Blues have clawed their way back into it. They trailed by nearly 40 points in the second quarter. And now Murphy, a chance to give them an 8-point advantage. Fraser Murphy, not too brilliant on these deliberate shots. Drop punt kick. Right across the face. It's thumped through for what I thought was a behind, but the boundary umpire right on the spot there, and he sees it as over the boundary line. So it's still in that right forward pocket for Carlton with only 4 minutes left. Deere and Kernahan. The ball goes to ground. Platten pushed. No, all clear. Yes, it is a push, says umpire Russo. And Platten will take the free kick for Hawthorn.
Hawks need something quickly. Time running out. Under 4 minutes left. Gleeson goes for the safety of the boundary line and finds it. Knocked down by Verbeek. So boundary throw in right half forward flank for Carlton. Blues trying to bottle it up in their forward pocket. Verbeek again over the top. Platten and Kennedy there for Hawthorn. Anderson, well tackled, throws the ball over the top. It's out of bounds in front of Darui. 3 minutes left. Can Carlton hang on? Can Hawthorn get the vital goal that they need? They'll still be on top of the ladder irrespective. Carlton probably can't make the 5, but they're going to make it awfully awkward for those that have got sights on it. Thumped away by Matthews.
Gee, they've wasted some precious seconds there, haven't they, Ross?
Nothing wrong with that at all.
About 1 minute and 15 been wasted with boundary throw-ins just in that pocket.
Yeah. Under 3 minutes left. It's all shaping up as a big win for Carlton. Matthews from Dorotich. And they're doing it again. This time it's out of bounds on the full, though. It'll be a free kick to Gary Ayres. It's the centre wing. Oh, it's all Carlton. Up high and down the back. Bradley. Greg Deere. Hawthorn needs something from this forward thrust. Oh, Whitman, gutsy, courageous mark. He's on centre wing. High kick. Dixon, who's just come onto the ground, takes the mark in front of Milham.
Dixon at centre half forward, kicks it wide. Dippy Domenico. Oh, he drops a sitter. Dunstall in the pocket, goes for goal number 100 and gets it.
Well, what a way to get your 100th goal. Robert Dippy Domenico got in his way, he should let it go. The call should have come from Dunstall. Dippy Domenico dropped it, but Dunstall had the good sense recovery, turn, and what a great way to kick it. It's probably the hardest shot he's had all day.
And they are coming from everywhere, which is ridiculous because this match is still in the cliffhanger status. And I don't think Jason Dunstall, while he's glad to get the 100th, would appreciate the attention.
The North Melbourne Giants take on the Adelaide 36ers and the Wildcats in the Doomsday Double.
Only on 7 Stars.
Look at this. And this. And this. Doesn't anybody pay on time anymore? How can you do business when people...
Mr. Pritchard's office?
Fenton still hasn't paid.
It's Harrison's. About their account.
Haven't we paid?
No, Mr. Pritchard.
Well, I was going to query that one.
We've already tried that.
Well, perhaps we'd better.
Mr. Pritchard has approved your invoice. The cheque will be made out today.
And another one.
Yes. Goodbye.
How can anybody be expected to do business without getting paid?
Manton's has more jaguars in captivity than anywhere else in Melbourne. Jaguar. To see more on the floor, see Manton's.
Sorry. You know how it is. It's a bit wet over there. Bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks. No, let me. Waiter, drinks all round.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
Well, look at this. People are finally paying their accounts.
Not before time.
Rang and reminded them of our terms. Even Fenton.
Even Fenton?
So, right, I've got a little dressmaker who takes in the darts of my frocks. That's similar to what you do.
Another Pixie ad exclusive. NEC presents Fast Forward Thursday. Here's the Tats 2 results, just drawn under government supervision.
So back into the centre after Dunstall's 100th goal. The Hawks are in front. 1 minute and 3/4 left in this match.
And Madden gets the tap out, but Whitman gets the ball out of the centre, and a good mark taken by McKenzie at centre half back. The Blues will have to go straight down the ground. Bradley's on his own on the opposite half forward. McKenzie's torpedo punt kick. Bradley can't mark. Platten left foot kick back towards half forward. Hawthorn mark. Great mark there to Brereton, and he gets up pretty gingerly.
Looks a little sore, doesn't he?
Kennedy on his own, but he goes to the other side, and Condon takes the mark. So we're down to 1 minute 13. Condon with the ball slightly forward of centre wing, kicks it high in towards the 50-metre line. Dunstall! Another acrobatic mark to Jason Dunstall. He'll kick from 45 metres. Looking for his 6th. It's a beautiful drop punt kick. Just goes across the face, and it's hurried through from behind by David Rees-Jones. So the Hawks lead by 5 points, and we've got just 3/4 of a minute left. Rees-Jones to kick the ball back into play.
Carlton need a goal. They've got to go straight down the ground. If they get it, they'll win it by a point. This is an important possession here. Whoever can pick it up, it's Michael Tuck. Tuck down towards full forward. McKenzie stands his ground and takes the mark. Still time for Carlton. Clock ticking down up towards centre field. Deere missed one he should have taken. Bradley tries to get clear. Picked up for Hawthorn by Kennedy. Hawthorn answering the challenge. Kennedy hooks it wide out towards half forward to the run of Dixon. Just inside the boundary line. No, he's not. It's out of bounds. 13 seconds remaining. Maybe the Hawks have stolen it. Boundary throw in at half forward. Madden over the top. Wins it. Gleeson. Good tackle, Dixon. Still got his kick in. And there's the siren. Hawthorn have won a thriller at VFL Park.
Yes, it certainly was a thriller. Hawthorn home by 5 points, but it was certainly a great finish by Carlton. And Dunstall finished up with 5 goals, and of course the goal of the day was the one that brought the century for the second year in session to the former Queenslander. Hawthorn by 5 points at VFL Park. And from VFL Park, we go up just a little bit further north, where I dare say, Sandy Roberts, it's just a little bit warmer. The big one tonight at Carrara. Good evening.
Yes, Pete, good evening. Magnificent conditions here at Carrara, and this is the first time I've seen the lights on here at the ground, the 6 towers, and really it's lit magnificently and it looks fantastic. There was a little bit of rain this morning, but it's dried out wonderfully well. A slight breeze going across the ground, but really ideal conditions, and what an important night, Peter, now for North Melbourne, considering the results of today, particularly Fitzroy. Quite simply, North just has to keep winning, and the Bears, on the other hand, under new coach Paul Feltham, are determined to get off the bottom of the ladder. They're there at the moment due to a poor percentage. So I think it'll be a very interesting game tonight.
Well, we've got a couple of very important milestones too up there, Sandy. Rains and Eade.
Yes, big night for Rodney Rocket Eade and Jeff Rains, and it's the first time in history, Peter, that 2 players have celebrated their 250th game on the same day or night for the same club. A tremendous achievement by these 2 veterans. I would imagine that Rodney Eade will probably be be considering hanging up his boots at the end of the season. Jeff Rains will just have to wait and see. But a great performance, 250 games, and who knows, that might just inspire the Bears tonight. But North, as you are well aware, very tough to beat under lights.
Yes, they've got a pretty good record under lights. Have you been able to get to the rooms? Any changes?
Well, the North Melbourne bus had a few problems, Pete. I should mention this. They locked the gate and they couldn't get them in, so they've had to walk a short distance, but we haven't been able to get into the rooms and ascertain if there have been any changes. Certainly, as the North boys came up, there's no reserves being played here, of course, as far as North Melbourne are concerned, and there didn't appear to be any changes. OK, Sandy, I know security's up there is pretty tight. We'll look forward to your call. Hope I get back.
Sandy Roberts reporting from Carrara, and we'll be going live there at 7:30. Well, Melbourne returned to Princes Park today for the second time in 8 days, this time to take on the much-improved Fitzroy combination after last week having its colours lowered by an equally upmarket Carlton. The two sides last met in round 1 of the season, and it was a thriller. You may recall at the 20-minute mark of the first quarter, Melbourne led Fitzroy by 35 points. At the 24-minute mark of the final term, the Demons trailed by 1 point before first gamer Stephen Tingay booted the winning goal to give his side victory by 5 points. Nowadays, the Lions look a better combination. They've won 5 of their last 6 games, but because of a poor percentage and 4 points behind Collingwood, they had to keep winning to still entertain hopes of being part of the action in September. We pick up play tonight. At the start of the third quarter, Melbourne is leading by 27 points. Their commentators are Drew Morfitt, Dennis Cometti and Bernie Quinlan.
Umpire David Howlett getting play underway for the second half. O'Dwyer burning on the ball. Knocked forward by Rowe, but hacked out of the air by Yates. In front, Bennett. Almost had that before Pert spoiled him. Across the half-back line by McCormack. Kapler leads the race. Stretch with him. 2 South Australian state players. Wilson back to Stretch. Stretch moving beautifully after coming back from injury. Yates. Hand pass a bit behind Grinter. Burke is there for Fitzroy. He's got to beat 3 of them, Peter Burke. And does. Well done. And the ball's out of bounds. It was off Grinter's foot. Might nearly be a kick out on the full, but it's going to be thrown in.
Had the execution been better from Melbourne, it could have been a score. As it was, Burke did brilliantly for them. Yates was pushed in the back and he'll get the free kick on centre wing. Well, Fitzroy have got to get some early goals, no question about that. Melbourne so far today have been the better side. Kick towards half forward. The mark is taken by Wilson. Wilson plays on quickly. Centering kick, either one of 2. Campbell or this man Jackson. Now Jackson's directly in front. He'll kick from about 40 metres out. He's got 1 goal so far. Just the start the Lions don't want. Not a particularly good kick. It bounces through. Well, that's unforgivable.
Yes, that is completely unforgivable by the Fitzroy defenders. Gary Pert down there wrestling with Bennett. But surely the ruckman or the back pocket, Brett Stevens, should have been there to touch that ball as it went across the line. As you can see, only Pert, the only Fitzroy defender in the goal square.
Jackson's second goal for the day. O'Dwyer wins another one, but his hand pass is blocked. Well played, McCormack. Good run by Kapler. Mighty long kick. Osborne in the goal square. Got it. And Richard Osborne, who had 4 to half time and kicked 8 last time Fitzroy met Melbourne, lining up now for number 5. Straight through the middle.
He's very talented, as we said, Richard Osborne. And again, we see the value of winning the ball out of the centre square. And Darren Kapler, who hasn't had a great season compared to last season, where he polled very well in the Brownlow medal, but winning the ball out. McCormack, an excellent hand pass. Kapler, who kicks the ball very long and direct. And Osborne down in the goal square in a one-out contest with Phoebe, taking a good, strong mark.
Hard to understand, as Greg Healy looks on, why they've gone back to Phoebe on Osborne. 1 down by Rendell. Matera claimed. Blakey's over the ball. Trying to force his way through was Viney, and will have a bounce down alongside the centre circle. So a goal apiece to start this third term. No change to the half-time margin then. Rendell and O'Dwyer. It was the latter who won it down. Harris's kick doesn't go very far. Yates over the ball into the path of Grinter, cleverly off the ground towards half forward. A good mark is taken by Campbell. Campbell swings it out wide, intended for Bennett down there. Pert does best. Good defensive mark.
Pert to centre wing, Roos. Metres in front of Dersma. Kick by Roos to half forward. Oh, in front. A good mark by Peter Rode on Broderick.
The thing here, Drew, I think Roos is being forced to come right up the ground to take his marks, and then when he kicks the ball, there's no one back at centre half forward to contest.
Viney across to Phoebe. Phoebe's kick to centre wing. O'Dwyer in front of Rendell. O'Dwyer round the corner. Stevens works to the front. Gee, almost a mark to Steins. And the umpire's going to ball that up. 74 plays 47. So Fitzroy have a lot of work to do.
Yes, you get the feeling Melbourne have got all the answers at the present time. Steins, brilliantly done. Could have almost got a kick for being held and somehow managed to get a boot on that one. It was marked by Pert. Pert, members side with a kick. Armstrong leads in the race, right against the boundary line. Claimed by Rode. Rode gets it. Now it's Pekin. Pekin goes towards half forward. Baldwin, awkward hand pass. Broderick gets around O'Dwyer, goes down towards the pocket. Well-weighted kick, and Roos has taken the mark. Paul Roos has been busy. Played very well. In the right full forward pocket, a question of accuracy from here. Kicks through the ball, it's coming back, it's close, it's a goal.
Just giving Andrew Gaze here a few tips on how to play a new ball game. It's called the BP Big Ball Game, and it's on right now at your BP service station. You can win an interstate trip for two to watch the second NBL final, including airfares and accommodation. Plus, there's hundreds of local NBL tickets to be won. So, play the game to win. Enter the BP Big Ball Game at participating BP service stations, but hurry, it's big!
BP, on the move. I don't know, Jono. Have a look at this. The car's got a whole computer system that actually tells you what's wrong with it. And those backyard boys, I think it's just a question of changing a couple of these, I don't know. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you better look at the distributor cap. Could be cracked. It's probably non-genuine too.
Yeah, doing that.
Commodore's all finished. Have a listen to this.
Love it.
Instead of putting your money into a high-return, high-risk investment, you can put your money into a high-return, no-risk investment. A government-guaranteed gas loan. See newspapers for details.
Sorry. You know how it is. It's a bit wet over there. Bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks.
No, let me. Waiter, drinks all round.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
Do you ever get the feeling that some banks aren't that interested in helping small businesses? If so, talk to CBFC, because at CBFC we specialise in helping the small businessman rather than the big businessman. CBFC, specialists in small business finance.
Nobody breaks football stories like 7 Nightly News. With many news awards to his credit, Rob Asprey is renowned for being in the right place when the big football stories break. Rob went to Perth to probe the full extent of the Eagles' financial dilemma. He broke the story that 3 VFL stars being charged by police in Tasmania. Rob was first to reveal St Kilda's plans to dump Darryl Baldock and broke the news to him exclusively. When the major stories break, Rob Asprey is there.
Nobody knows Melbourne like 7.
Margin back to 21 points. So Fitzroy have caught up a goal. 2-1 this quarter. Baldwin beats his man. Fires out the hand pass. Well played to Broderick. Into Armstrong. Armstrong outside 50. Long kick. Roos is there again. He's got it. Brilliant football by the Lions. And listen to the chants around the ground for Roos, 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 as Paul Roos lines up for goal number 2 in a minute. Third for the match.
Yes, and this is a lot better by Fitzroy. Starting to get some run into their play in this third quarter. It wasn't looking good at half-time, but they are showing plenty of spirit. And the ever-dangerous Paul Roos kicking 2 goals in 2 minutes. Excellent hand pass there by Broderick to Armstrong. Long kick into the goal square. Roos in the best position to take that mark. Dersma had very little chance after Roos had given him that nudge out.
We've got a new ball now after the goal. That last one lost. And the good players for Fitzroy at the present time, early in this third term, leading by example. Flintoff, who's been clever, robbed of the ball that time. Lovett into the path of Stretch. Brilliantly played. Got past McCormack, then loses control of the ball. Knocked away by Kapler. Good persistence, Kapler. And he runs the ball across the boundary line. 19 minutes remaining until three-quarter time. The early going then of the second half. And Fitzroy looking improved. Just the last couple of moments have sparked them. Those goals to Roos. Lovett in the tackle gets the kick off. Flintoff across the top. Taken by Jackson to Lovett. He's played well again today. Long kick down towards the pocket. Steins surrounded. Claimed by Pert. Slung to the ground. Stevens comes away chasing the ball. But Yates gets there first to Campbell. He can't control it. Almost holding the ball. He slaps it out. Down goes Newport. Back comes Campbell. Down goes Rowe. And we've got a whistle.
Margin 15 points. After Melbourne had led by 27 at half-time and kicked the first goal of the third quarter. O'Dwyer at the second attempt. Jackson onto Wilson. High kick by Wilson. Past Bennett. Pert. Good mark. Support by Stevens. He goes long for Kapler, so he's put it out in front and said, you go for it with Stretch. Drag Stretch to the ground, no whistle. Stretch help from Viney. Into Hughes. Tap for Stretch. Oh, he didn't really go too hard at that one. Armstrong met him. It comes to Kapler. Kapler up the ground. Great play by the Lions. Matera. He's got to kick it in a hurry. High to half forward. Broderick, the only man there. It comes off hands to Broderick. Open goal. The hand pass across to Osborne. Osborne or Roos. Osborne goes in for an easy one.
Well, a great passage of play by the Lions. Starting out on that wing. A couple of Melbourne players didn't look as if they really wanted that ball. And Fitzroy seized the opportunity. Bad understanding there by the couple of Melbourne defenders. Allowed Fitzroy to chip in for an easy goal. Osborne, his 6th. And all of a sudden, we've got a game on our hands. Fitzroy kicking the last 3 goals.
This game has come alive. Fitzroy right back at Melbourne. Lynch. Viney on top of him. There's the time remaining in the third quarter. They have a bounce. About 15 metres, the attacking side of the centre circle for the Demons. Or rather for Fitzroy. Armstrong slung. Knocked on by Kapler. Rode tries to knock it away. Roos cleverly. Armstrong's kick after he got the ball from Broderick. Osborne. He's kicked 6. He's directly in front. about 20 metres out.
And they'll have to make a change here, Dennis. Sean White must play on Richard Osborne.
Unbelievable, they went back to Phoebe. Goal number 7. No mistake.
So Fitzroy showing some of the football that they've displayed in the last couple of weeks. Had excellent wins against North Melbourne and last Friday night against Richmond. And the change has been made. Sean White now playing at full-back. And a rather belated move. But a rejuvenated Fitzroy side in this third quarter, realising that their chance of playing in the 5 was slipping away. Osborne, very strong player, not over tall, but an excellent high mark and positioning himself beautifully there in front of Phoebe.
Sean White has gone back there. Osborne has kicked 7, and probably 6 of them have been on Phoebe. Newport holding the ball. No, held in, said the umpire. Fitzroy players wanted a hold in the ball. And the Lions are back to within 3 points, which was remarkable since the margin got out to 33 points, well, only about 12 minutes ago. High kick out of there by Lovett. Knocked forward by Stevens. Armstrong has been a spark this quarter. Oh, almost a mark to Matera. Comes out towards the wing. Trapped by Viney. Comes back towards Grinter. Lovett with Baldwin. Lovett dispossessed. Roos is back behind centre wing to gain another possession. Great play by Paul Roos. Steers it wide for Osborne. Doing well to get a hand on that one was Dersma, but the hand pass comes into Peake and he's crunched down by White. Somehow got the hand pass out. I don't know how he even survived that one. Comes to Phoebe. Hacks Melbourne out of defence. Grinter marks at half-back flank.
Well, the first half in this game deserves a third quarter like this one. They're serving it up now, these two sides. It's been an outstanding game. Grinter finds Viney on the wing. O'Dwyer comes across. Rendell goes down. It's reversed. So Melbourne, just for the moment, losing their composure completely. Rendell has this ball on centre wing. Silly play by O'Dwyer, but the ball is coming back. Rendell will be told to kick over the line. Umpire Rich having a few words to him.
Well, it was a late tackle by Rendell, and O'Dwyer right on the spot is the mark. And a little bit high and late by Rendell.
Rendell this time kicks over the mark. Down towards half forward. Roos has been superb in this term. Got it across to support Harris to Matera. Long down towards Osborne. Osborne got his fingertips to it. Couldn't hang on. Campbell on the burst. Back towards centre wing. O'Dwyer is up. Knocked away by Rendell. Taken by McCormick. Gives it across to Rowe. Hurried kick goes high back towards half forward. White's in front. Up he goes and he takes the timely defensive mark.
The crowd yelling non-stop at the moment. Wilson marks over the top of Kapler. Out to Stretch. Stretch a long kick to full forward. Hughes is there. Steins goes to ground. Hughes takes the mark.
Was there a push out there or not? I think the Fitzroy players thought so. Both put out of the contest. Pretty hard to see from that replay, but Hughes with the mark and only kicking from about 15 metres out.
Hughes kicked 1 goal in the first quarter. And he misses from about 15 metres. Well, Chris Connolly and Gary Lyon not too happy with that one. What would Gary Lyon have been able to do with it? But you can only play with who you have on the field, and Melbourne stretched at the moment with a number of injuries, and they lead by just 4 points.
Hughes has kicked 1 goal. It was a great snap in the first term from deep in the right full forward pocket. That time the easy one missed as Pert kicks to the outer side. Roos from behind knocks it on. Flintoff cleverly across to Viney. Viney swings it out wide to Lovett. Again today, outstanding. Lovett. Little short pass into the path of Wilson, who marks under pressure. McCormack astride late getting there, and Wilson now deep in the right full forward pocket. A chance to bring up the 12th goal for Melbourne. It'll take a good kick from here. He's done well so far this afternoon. Brian Wilson. The Demons need this one to steady. Fitzroy are throwing everything at them at the present time. Wilson. The kick of a champion.
It was just a glance,
but it caught my eye, cruising all alone with the spunk inside. Never thought that I would ever fall so fast, but I got my own and I'm in love at last.
gotta get a hold of Nova, 'cause it goes real quick. Gotta get a hold of Nova, never look so slick.
So if you've got a family or you're on a shopping spree, gotta get a hold of Nova, the car I love.
It's got a twin cam donk and all the stuff you want. Gotta get a hold of Nova. It's the car you love.
I made it! I'm in a team for the country tour.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Hey, that's great.
What'll it cost?
It's $86, Dad.
It's not right, is it? But there is an answer. We'll reduce interest rates by getting inflation down and making Australia more competitive. We'll put reward for effort back into your workplace and make saving worthwhile again. There is an answer.
Authorised by Tony Eggleton, Liberal Party, Canberra.
Used regularly, Wynn's Spitfire Plus cleans your car's fuel system while you drive. So next time you fill up, add a bottle of Wynn's Spitfire Plus. You'll have more power, better fuel economy and easier starting. When it's Wynn's,
It works.
If you want an aftershave that's a winner, go for Gold. Yardley Gold. The aftershave for men who like to win. Yardley Gold.
There are over 100 different specialist careers in the Army, and you could have one of them. Army, it'll bring out your best.
Five years ago, Stephen Dunstall, a wealthy Toorak man, mysteriously disappeared. His car was found abandoned at Lockhart Gorge. His body was never found. Watch Australia's Most Wanted Sunday. Next on Hinch.
We were indeed slaves to these men.
29 Catholic priests, former priests and Christian brothers either in jail or facing jail over sexual charges involving young boys. Boys used and abused. The Catholic Church in crisis on Hinch.
Dwyer's won another one out of the middle to the goal scorer Wilson, but his hand pass is intercepted by McCormack. Keeps the kick low to Osborne, who's in front of his third opponent this quarter. It comes to Lynch. The hand pass to Roos. Roos kicks another one. That's 3 this quarter for Paul Roos.
And 4 for the match. So 2 champion forwards, Paul Roos and Richard Osborne, doing particularly well. 7 goals to Osborne and 4 goals to Paul Roos. And only one other goal kicker, that's Alistair Lynch. There's McCormack, who's been an excellent player for Fitzroy. He's been in everything. Osborne on the lead with his third opponent for the quarter, Campbell. Lynch getting the hand pass to Roos to kick a very easy goal.
4 goals to Paul Roos. Great vision there by Lynch to get the hand pass over the top. So we're back in the middle. Outstanding game, this one. Dwyer crashes in. Harris off his knee. Rendell gained about 5 metres. Grinter against the tide. Long kick into the forward line. Over the top, Bennett fisting away from Pert. Taken by Rowe. Hurried kick towards the outer side. Kapler leads in the race out there. Strong tackle by Stretch. Pekin runs it across the line. Throw in. Outer side wing. And this crowd has really built up. And they're finding voice now. Pekin, a late inclusion. Rendell and O'Dwyer, they battle. It falls in front of them. Patted on by O'Dwyer. Taken by McCormack. Gains about 5 metres cleverly across to Pekin. Scrambles the kick towards half forward. Armstrong left it behind. Viney gets it to Grinter. Over the top it comes to Rode. He fumbles. Back to Viney. Viney gets towards half forward. Baldwin through his legs. Applies a strong tackle on Yates though. Play goes on. It's scrambled out by Pert back towards Fitzroy's half forward line.
And in the area is the danger man Paul Roos, but his opponent Dersma with a fly hack at the ball. It comes to Harris. He can't break the tackle. Back to Roos again. He hand passes to no one. Out to centre wing. Socket off the ground by Baldwin, who made it a contest and gained 25 metres for his team. The 19-year-old playing his 4th senior match.
Yeah, great stuff by Baldwin. He's been an excellent player. Only 4 games. He's shown a lot of, well, he's shown a lot of know-how for a young player.
Matera. The hand pass into McCormack. Great kick in the direction of Osborne. White in front. Hooks it to himself and comes out with it. Puts it out in front of Stretch. He's got a 15-metre break on Kappa. And the South Australian can bounce all the way down the outer wing. Stephen Stretch long towards the goal square. Pert well placed, punches away from Bennett. Gale got back there. Flintoff tries to keep the ball in and does. Gale again. Out of defence, it comes to Stones. A snap. It's pretty close, but across the face. And through for a minor score. The Demons lead by 5 points. In this quarter, Melbourne have kicked 2-2. Fitzroy into the breeze, 6 goals straight.
Roos and Osborne on fire on their forward line. That's been the difference. Here's Gary Pert. Members side. Telling kick 2 intended for Rowe, who reaches over the top and claims the mark. There's the time remaining. It was a fine mark by Dwayne Rowe. Shock of blonde hair bouncing as he kicks down towards half forward. Roos in from the side. He's been inspired. It falls to Grinter. Yates tries to knock it on. Spills wide. Lovett's got it now. Great poise. Gets it across to Wilson. Wilson kicks towards half forward. Gale in best position. Leads back in the race. Surrounded by teammates, but Flintoff gets through and it's pressure on. But then gave away a kick. He's saying it's out of bounds, but that was careless. He pushed him in the back, no question. Gale wasting no time across the ground. Rendell. Away comes Armstrong towards half forward. What a beautiful kick. Ball is marked by Lynch. Lynch plays on quickly. Goes looking for Osborne in the pocket. White. Great courage to get back there. Couldn't hang on. Osborne now from 35 metres has kicked a goal.
What a great goal to Richard Osborne. Showing that he can kick them off the ground as well as in the air. And that's an inspirational goal to Richard Osborne. 4 goals for the quarter. 3 goals to Paul Roos. And that came from the back line to the forward line. There's Osborne. Great desperation there by Sean White, throwing himself at that mark, but going to the ground, and Richard Osborne recovering beautifully and kicking a good goal on the run.
Fitzroy have hit the front for the first time in the match. They lead by a point. O'Dwyer wins out of the middle, but the smaller players not getting it for Melbourne. McCormack up to half forward. Viney caught in the tackle. Gets the hand pass away to Dersma. Dersma wide to Stretch on the wing. Maybe too wide, and out of bounds it goes.
At the 2-minute mark of this quarter, Fitzroy were 33 points down. So since then, with Roos and Osborne firing, they've completely dominated this quarter.
In this quarter, Osborne's kicked 4 and Roos has kicked 3. They've been absolutely superb in the key forward posts. And that will be a ball up at centre wing. We have 8 minutes, just under 8.5 minutes remaining to 3-quarter time. And Fitzroy, 6th on the ladder, lead Melbourne 3rd on the ladder by a point.
This is Harris. Manages to get the kick away to Blakey. Matera, sweeping hand pass over the top. Broderick from 40 metres out. Broderick slides it across the face and through it goes for a minor score. Just under 8 minutes remaining in this 3rd turn. Fitzroy, 13-6. Melbourne, 12-10. Marvellous match. Roos battling with Viney. Baldwin an opportunity. Baldwin from about 55 metres out, centering kick. Fitzroy in best position. Lynch over the top.
And that was a clever kick by Baldwin. A good centering kick. And the Fitzroy players, of course, Lynch, who is a very good high mark, and Osborne giving the key forwards a chance to go for those marks.
Lynch can break the sequence of goals from Roos and Osborne. Osborne has 8, Roos has 4, Lynch the other goal, kicking at his second. It's close, it's swinging back nicely on the breeze. It's home.
Hi, just giving Andrew Gaze here a few tips on how to play a new ball game. It's called the BP Big Ball Game and it's on right now at your BP service station. You can win an interstate trip for 2 to watch the second NBL final, including airfares and accommodation. Plus, there's hundreds of local NBL tickets to be won. So, play the game to win. Enter the BP Big Ball Game at participating BP service stations, but hurry, it's big!
BP, on the move.
It was just a glance,
but it caught my eye, cruising all alone with the spunk inside. Never thought that I would have fall so fast, but I got my own and I'm in love at last.
gotta get a holding over, 'cause it goes real quick. Gotta get a holding over, never look so slick.
So if you've got a family or you're on a shopping spree,
Gotta get a holding over, the car I love.
It's got a twin cam donk and all the stuff you want. Gotta get a holding over.
It's the car you'll love.
There are over 100 different specialist careers in the Army, and you could have one of them. Army, it'll bring out your best.
I don't smoke. It's the only way to stay ahead of the game.
Winners are winners, quitters are ahead. Because when you quit, you're ready and fit to let your body do its best. Let your body do its best.
It took courage, determination. It took the Anzacs. 2 years after Pearl Harbor, the Aussies are out to return the favor, to wipe out an entire harbor full of Japanese warships. They set out in an old rust bucket across 3,000 miles of treacherous waters. The odds were they wouldn't make it, but they did. And the Japs didn't know what hit them. This is an incredible true story. These are the Aussie men the Japanese called heroes. Heroes of the Crate, Wednesday on 7.
Steins is in front. Pats it down. Flint off. Back towards half back for the Demons. But Rowe will send it back in. Nicely done. Here's an athlete, Rowe, bounding away. Long kick. Roos is down there in from the side. Got hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Matera missed it. Beveridge on the ground. Comes away from half back. Swings it out wide. Intended for Hughes. Awkward one for him. Gale, favoured by the bounce. Goes back to half forward and Broderick.
Outside the 50. He's got Rendell unmarked. Stein spoiled him just in time, said the umpire. I thought it was a mark. The crowd thought so too. Wilson for Melbourne. Slips it across to Steins. Melbourne under siege at the moment. Stretch. Gale diving. Not taking the mark low down. The ball goes out and we'll have a throw in. And the Fitzroy fans thought that was a mark to Rendell up in the forward pocket.
Boundary throw in. Over the top Steins. McCormick close to the boundary line. Keeps it in. Well done. And then hand passes across in front of Kaplan. This crowd getting very vocal now as Fitzroy fight for survival in season 89. Rendell misses. Knocked out of there by Phoebe. Kapler's got the run of it. Kapler on his knees to Rendell. Gets it across to support. Rowe towards half forward. White again goes back. fisting away. Fitzroy leading the race to the ball. Broderick, sweeping hand pass to Matera. And the mark is taken by Osborne. He's got 8 already. He'll kick from 15 metres out directly in front. There he is, beating his third opponent this term. Osborne for 9. Goal!
And Richard Osborne started the day on 290 goals in his career, so he only needed one more to reach the 300 mark. He's been an excellent player for Fitzroy. Started off as a half-back flanker, but since he's played at full forward, he has been magnificent. But the Fitzroy running players now well on top, and that's where the luck starts to tell, Dennis.
Bad choice of a place to fist it by White, though. He should have gone to the boundary and not back to the middle.
3 3/4 minutes remaining to three-quarter time. Steins out of the middle. Pert off the ground. Gale. Soccer by Wilson. Nobody back there. Chance for Bennett. Took a cruel bounce for him. Hand pass to the goal square. O'Dwyer. Oh, he's beautifully smothered. What a tackle that was.
By Baldwin, I think it was. Yes, it was Baldwin. Magnificent stuff. Looked like a certain goal to Melbourne, and great desperation shown.
Now there's the man with the build of a flanker, a wingman, playing his 4th game, 19 years of age, and he threw himself in front of a moving tram. Oh, what a mark by Grinter.
This is a top quarter of football, no question about that. Melbourne aren't done with yet. They've made a living winning close football matches in the last few seasons. Grinter, a long bomb. Fisted away by Fitzroy. Burke leads in the race. Steins keeps it alive. Great desperation from Pekin. Baldwin gets his comeuppance that time. Claimed by a couple of Melbourne players and will have a bounce. No beg pardons at the present time.
I was going to say, but great to see Baldwin putting his body in again. And again, desperation coming to the fore, making it very difficult for Melbourne to score.
About 15 metres out from Melbourne's attacking goal. Rendell looking for the boundary line. Newport assists him. And we've got a throw in. So Melbourne, 27 points in front at half-time. Kicked the first goal of the third term. And since then, Fitzroy have put on something of a clinic. This is Wilson, claimed by Harris. Ball jarred free. Stein stands up in the tackle. Tried to get it away to Beveridge. Well played by Gale to McCormack. Out it comes to Harris. Harris fires only as far as centre wing, and the mark is taken by Viney.
Kicked by Viney to Steins at half forward. Baldwin coming to apply the spoil, but had no hope from behind. Steins. Bennett's there with O'Dwyer. Comes to the front. Wilson. Twinkled toes. Goals.
He was a very clever player, Brian Wilson, reading the ball perfectly off the pack. And a badly needed goal there by Melbourne, because things have been going all Fitzroy's way. A kick by Jimmy Steins long into the forward line. A pack flying for it. Wilson very cleverly eluded Tim Pekin, and on that left foot kicked his 3rd goal.
Actually, football doesn't get much more exciting than this when you've got a great contest, and the stars of both teams are the players who are really getting the job done. One down by Steins, fisted the other way by McCormack. This is Phoebe. High kick. They'll contest on centre wing. Newport got a timely fist in there for Melbourne. Overrun by Armstrong. Road gets the hand pass away. Gale. Matera with an opportunity. Overruns. Socket off the ground by Viney. Fitzroy work it forward though. It was Kapler. Now Broderick. Broderick from 40 metres out has missed. That would have been a big lifter.
Yes, he's kicked 2 behinds this quarter, Paul Broderick. Usually a very reliable kick for goal.
Tony Campbell, who is Osborne's 3rd opponent this quarter. Rendell in front, takes the mark. Well, here's a man who spent nearly all of last season in the reserves. He's made a big comeback to league football. Wide for Osborne. And another one for Osborne. He has kicked 5 this quarter, 9 for the match. And he might have 10 before three-quarter time.
And lining up for his 300th in league football, Drew.
Well, what a way to bring up your 300th. With 10 for the match, Osborne. There's a beautiful kick. It's there.
10 by three-quarter time.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries' 1989 Premiership season.
And indeed, it was a 10-goal quarter by Fitzroy. They won the game by 48 points. Osborne finished up with 11, 4 to Roos and 4 to Lynch. 2 reported players, McCormack and Wilson. In the other games played today, Collingwood and the Sydney Swans first of all, and Sydney got up to score by 4 points. In that particular game, Dennis Carroll got 3 goals, Risa Larkis got 5. Geelong and St Kilda at Moorabbin today, and the Saints, after getting off to a good start, went down by 3 points. Exel 4, 3 each to Brownless and Stoneham, and for St Kilda, Daniels got 3 goals, Morgan and Burns on report. Let's check the ladder now after today's round of matches. More football tonight and also tomorrow. The 5, Hawthorn, Geelong, Essendon, Melbourne and Collingwood, but the race for the finals is still certainly on. Scott Palmer with details of reports and other incidents from today's matches. In just a moment, we'll return to the replay in just a sec.
It was just a glance,
but it caught my eye, cruising all along with the spunk inside. Never thought that I would ever fall so fast, but I got my own and I'm in love at last.
gotta get a hold of Nova, 'cause it goes real quick. Gotta get a hold of Nova, never look so slick.
So if you've got a family or you're on a shopping spree,
Gotta get a hold of Nova, the car I love.
It's got a twin cam donk and all the stuff you want. Gotta get a hold of Nova.
It's the car you'll love.
Who was first to find you the perfect spot on the beach? Who was first to make your first home well within reach? Who was first interstate to find the house that was yours? Who was first with the best price? First National, of course. Who was first when you retired to spend more time on the course? Who was first? Local and national. First National, of course.
Through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark.
We'll always be there.
Don't forget a complete wrap of all today's football tomorrow on Sport World from 9 a.m. And of course our football panel will be voting for the State Bank Player of the Year award.
At the end of the 89 home and away season, the player voted the State Bank Player of the Year by our Sports World panel will receive a state banking system account worth $10,000. State Bank Victoria. We never forget it's your money.
Welcome back, and let's go up to the offices of the Sunday Press now and say a very good evening to Scott Palmer. Scotty, plenty happening today, mate.
It's a real great day of football news, Pete, yes. Jason Dunstall, 100 goals today in that 27-minute mark, and tonight he's going to dress up in pink wrestling tights to raise money for the players' trip. Pink wrestling tights for the 100 game forward. Terrific sight that'll be.
Yes, I can hardly wait to see that. One report came out of that game in the main game, and there was another in the reserves that's rather interesting.
Yes, a young player from the Hawks called Richard Bearsley was reported by a field umpire, James Van Beek, for allegedly striking him to the face with the right hand. The Hawks are pretty worried about that. But of course, Dermot Brereton, he was fractionally worried about running through the Dean boy at Carlton today. He came out of the game and said, I did it, wasn't wrong, was it? I did it okay, didn't I? Only one report. There was Steve DeRue, who was booked for striking Michael Tuck.
Yes, well, that looked a very similar incident, actually. I thought it was a hip and shoulder, but that will be decided by the tribunal. Geelong and St Kilda, I understand down there today, Scotty, Gary Ablett got dragged from the ground, is that right?
Yes, one of the very few times he got dragged from the ground. Ricky Winmar really put through the ringer today. Baldock was very pleased with his side. And in fact, he said, Geelong, they won't win the premiership. He said, lepers don't change their spots. I don't know what he meant by that.
And we had 2 reported players down there, burned by 3 umpires.
Yes, poor Keith Burns. He's reported by 3 umpires. It's his last season. If he gets rubbed out on Monday night, it may be the end for him. A great player, number 11 for the Saints.
Yeah, Greg Burns. What about, there was another one
Darren
too,
Morgan.
Morgan.
Yes, he was put on a charge of striking young Nathan Burke. So there's worries there for Geelong, but Malcolm Blight said it was the best form we've shown for 3 weeks. He said Gary Ablett played terribly, but the team did pretty well.
We've just seen some tremendous action from Princes Park, Fitzroy and Melbourne. And 2 reported players there as well. It's going to be a busy night for the tribunal.
It's going to be very busy, yes. John Northey was fuming tonight. He said it was our discipline, he said. It stood out like dogs, hyphen, 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 hyphen. He said, I can't work out why it's, one half is so good, the other half is so bad. He blamed 3 players. He wouldn't name them, but he said they know who they are. And, of course, Brian Wilson was reported for striking Brendan McCormick after Brendan McCormick was charged with striking Stephen Newport. So there's something in that, I think.
Finally, Scotty, in brief, big upset win for the Swans out at Victoria Park.
Yes, and they're going to celebrate tonight at Gerard Healy's Bucks night in Melbourne. Colin Kinnear, the coach, said we came down with a plan and we stuck to it. And he said that's the first side we've beaten twice this season. And of course for Collingwood, they've been beaten by 5 clubs now that have got no chance of making the finals. Their crunch day will come on round 20, of course, when they play Fitzroy at VFL Park. And that's going to be a real great day, Pete.
Yes, it certainly will. There's only one thing to say, Scotty. I know the Sunday press closes in a couple of weeks, but until then, mate...
Keep punching, my lad.
And we'll see you on Sports World in the morning.
Good on you.
Scotty Palmer, the sporting editor of the Sunday Press, and you'll be seeing him from 9 a.m. tomorrow. Hope you've enjoyed the football today, and of course more football coming up.
Essendon leading by 8 points.